5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome along. It's Friday, it's 7 o'clock, and I've got Crackerjack with me. Hello, how are you doing?
All right, thanks, Chris. All right, thanks,
Well,
Chris.
Here we are again.
Springs eternal, mate.
Oh yes. Looking at your name there. We won't keep you long because you've obviously got a Friday night appointment down your local church.
Well, it would be nice to. We were on a. You mentioned in with your show with Kate earlier, didn't you? Where you and Kate picked your teams. The run didn't last that long, did it?
No, that was unfortunate. That's the problem when you post things that they don't last very long. Hi by the way to Dawn, and hi to Tony and Blue Fox, who's just popped in as well. This is my last game that I will be watching. We haven't got a midweek game next week, thank God. And then I'm away next weekend, actually having fun with my daughters in London. And it will be a lot more fun than watching Leicester. And then I miss the next two games because I'm in sunny Lanzarote. I'm sorry, I think I've got the better deal.
It's a good time to go, Chris. It's like any people that do get some winter sun. It really does help you get through the winter.
Yes.
Especially will we nosedive? We'll soon see on Saturday.
Sorry?
Will we have a continued nosedive, or will we?
Well, this is it, isn't it? I predicted everything. I predicted a loss, a draw. I couldn't predict a win for us, but this is the thing. This is how this club has now got me, is that I'm absolutely not bothered about missing games. Who do we play next Wednesday? I can't think who it is. That's going to drive me mad now. I'll let you have a look there. But obviously, I have this app on my phone where I can watch these games.
It's Derby a week on Saturday, Chris.
Right? Do we not? Who do we play midweek though?
We've not got one.
No, next week, midweek next week. I mean,
we've not got one. We've got Sheffield United Saturday, then the next game is Derby the following Saturday. But then we have got Bristol City on the Wednesday. Yeah.
So Bristol City Wednesday, is it?
That's a week on Wednesday, on the 10th of December.
Oh yeah, that's when I'm not. Yeah, so I'm missing Derby because I'm in London. And I'm missing Bristol City and whoever we've got at the weekend that weekend because I'm in Lanzarote. My mate says, like, we always go see this particular artist when she's on because she owns this lovely restaurant. Meals, bloody hell, I've never finished a meal there. I struggle. And that's me, and I eat all the pies. And we're going to see her, and she's only on a Wednesday. Now, Leicester normally play their midweek games on a Tuesday. And he turned around and he said, mate, I'm really sorry. You're playing on the Wednesday, I've just noticed. We're going to see, we're going to the good old days on Wednesday. Do you know what I said? I said, I don't give a shit.
And that's funny how normally you'd be trying to wheedle your way out of something.
Yeah, can we sort of, go a bit later? Problem is, she's on to like 11 at night, so I can't even have the meal and then go and watch it afterwards. But that's how this club has got me.
Yeah,
Not
especially
giving a damn not giving a damn whether I watch them or not.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, especially after Saturday, it was that abject, the performance on Saturday, wasn't it?
I do feel I can't remember a time, but I'm going back possibly even pre-Pearson years, where one season, I think it was under Martin O'Neill, everything went wrong. We got an injury, we got a sending off, and then we got another, and you're thinking like, when will it end? And it feels like that at the moment.
Yeah, I think the squad is really weak. It's really depleted. I mean, so, different people at different stages coming back from injury, but it just shows we've got young Seagrave kids, and then we've got a lot of older players, and we need those mid-range players really. That lots of other teams have got them, and they bring them on as subs as well during the match, and they perform just as well as the people going off.
I will still go back and say what I have been saying. Is that we also need players that care, because the older players don't give a shit. Tell they're in the last year of their contract. They know they're not going to get a new one. The only guy that actually that's leaving that actually seems like he gives a damn is Daka. And as hard as he tries, one goal in a year kind of sums it up, doesn't it?
I mean, can you imagine KDH coming off after that match, what he would be saying to the cameras?
Yes. But all these days, it's you can't say this, you can't say that, and you can't say boo to a goose. But look, it is what it is. I did say and do watch the Pick and Mix show from earlier. Kate picks her starting 11. And I can't believe actually me and Kate, we're just starting to agree on everything. It's feels very, very weird, this, but we do. And I actually said that I think Marty Cifuentes has probably got the safest job in the Championship, because, and she thinks he should be given till the end of the season anyway. Is that Nippon, by the way? I think that could be Nippon. Bloody hell! Sorry, Wayne. Nippon, how the fuck are you? It's got to be with NS, and then that's a Chelsea logo. How the devil are you, sir? It has been absolutely... Nippon was one of the first guys, along with Mel from Arsenal, that I kind of did shows with when I first came up here. You got married, Nippon. Congratulations. I hope that is going well. I feel really bad now if he turns on and said it only lasted 6 months and we got divorced. Welcome along, mate. How you doing? You're looking after Enzo for us. Really, really nice guy, Nippon. Nice to see you, mate.
Chelsea doing well.
Yeah, you got to say that. There was me saying he'd be out by last Christmas and doing panto. That's how wrong I am. But no, Marty Cifuentes, look, we couldn't sack Ruud van Nistelrooy last season because we'd already sacked Steve Cooper. So we had to keep him being paid up until up until this season. If that's the case, we cannot go on and sack Cifuentes this season. And if we do sack him, whoever we bring in is only playing with the same amount, the same bunch of turds that we've already got.
Yeah, I think you said that for the last couple of weeks, Chris, and I think you're spot on, really. I didn't really think of us not being able to sack Ruud van Nistelrooy until the new financial year, and I think that's spot on. And I think you're spot on about he's just got the same very, very limited players who either are looking for the next contract, or I think some of the players just haven't got internal passion and fight in them anymore. I just don't think they got it.
No. So, we bring somebody else in. The only thing is, and everybody would have gone mad if it had happened, but I always think if we'd brought Sean Dyche in, he would have at least had a look at the system and gone, they can't play this system. But that's all ifs, buts, and maybes, you know. Like they said, you know, like, as Gino once said, if my grandma had had wheels, she'd have been a bike. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. I won't spit my food out like Philip did. He's pretty good at spitting other things out, isn't he? Let's move on very, very quickly. Shall we have a look at the press conference, Wayne? I think we should.
Yeah, let's do that, Chris.
Yeah, quickly. Here we go.
Just wanted to start with some of the team news ahead of the game this weekend. How is Jakub Solarczyk doing?
Jakub has been feeling better, so obviously not much training, but the good thing is that he's feeling much better.
Will he be available for the game this weekend?
We're going to have a discussion and we're going to take a decision today.
Yeah, Caleb McCauley as well. I know you said that there was a chance he might have been fit for the game against Southampton, obviously not to be. How is he doing?
We were waiting for some tests to get an answer when he could be ready. Unfortunately, those tests came back with news that he will be away probably for a few weeks with a knee injury. So that's where we're at the moment. He will be available for selection. Hopefully, perhaps it's difficult to say if it's going to be before or after Christmas, but around that.
You've got, of course, a growing list of injuries at the moment. Are there any other players who might be coming back from injuries that would be available this weekend?
Everybody's progressing well. Obviously, we got Harry Suter that is training back with the team. That's very good news for everyone, but glad especially for him after such a long period away. But obviously he will need now to get some rhythm after 1 year away. So about the rest, I think that Aaron is progressing well, but not close yet. And the last news about Victor and about the rest of the guys.
Is there anyone else that's picked up any injuries in the game this weekend, maybe from Tuesday or in training this week?
Not everyone. No, everybody else is fine.
Just looking back on Southampton, a few days on, what are the lessons that you've taken away from that game?
Definitely was a disappointing game, and disappointing for us because we were trying to build some momentum after the previous games and picking two wins in a row, going there with some expectations. And definitely it's a strange game the way it developed the first half, but it was disappointing for us, for the fans who travel, long trip away midweek. So definitely frustrating, but obviously we had honest conversations about the things that we need to be better. And I think it has been an important reflection point.
How do you feel that those conversations have gone? Have they been beneficial? Have you seen the reactions that you would have hoped to after having those conversations?
Well, definitely tomorrow we will see. Of course, I've been speaking to the group. I've been speaking individually to many players, doing what usually as a manager you will do. But it's definitely very important to understand that this is not about. I spoke about changing the mentality. It's not about the blame culture. It's about trying to learn from every situation, trying to be stronger when you lose, when you win, when you draw. Try to be better every day, and not finding excuses. We could say that was a strange game because of the way it developed the first half with the first goal, then the red card, and the third goal. But I'm not here to focus on this. I'm here to focus on how we can perform better, and that has been definitely the approach.
How important is it to try and regain the momentum that you had picked up just before the international break with the win against Norwich and then the win against Stoke as well, heading into this game this weekend?
Yeah, very important because good teams react after disappointment. I think it's so important that at home as well, we create that feeling that we are a strong team at home, and at the same time we know that the table is so tight. It's important at this moment of the season we get a good dynamic, a good rhythm, and it's not an easy game to play away against Southampton, but it's more the disappointment about the way it happened, the way it was. So I think it's definitely important for many reasons that we show a strong reaction tomorrow.
You talked there about how tight the table is at the moment. I think when anyone can look at SC all the way down to 14th, 15th place, all the way up to third is so congested. I suppose that puts extra emphasis on the ideals that you talked about a couple of weeks ago, that actually if you are able to pick up momentum, win a string of games, then it can put you in a much healthier position heading into the really busy Christmas time?
Yeah, I think the most important is to focus on ourselves. Obviously, the position in the table, it helps to understand where you are in terms of performances. But when you see how tight and how competitive is this division, yeah, you understand that the small edges are so important. So for us, it's very important again to look at ourselves, how how we can improve our level during the games, how we can pick that consistency during the games and from game to game, and that's what my focus is, because I know that the most important. Obviously, we don't want the difference in between the top of the table and us to increase, just the opposite. But at the same time, for me, the most important is to make sure that the team improves, and then I know that this will reflect on the table.
How do you look ahead to the game this weekend in your analysis of Sheffield United?
Yeah, definitely a team that has started the season probably not in the way they wanted. Then an experienced manager that knows the club really well comes in, comes back, I will say. And then definitely the team has improved over the last games. So they got players that they know really well this division. That actually last season, many of them had a very strong season in the same league. And yeah, they are now in a good moment after these last games, last results, and a team as well that has changed slightly from I would say how they were playing 2 months ago and how they are playing at the moment. So it's very important that we understand where are their strengths. They got some players that are performing at good level at the moment, but at the same time to remind that we know that when we play at our best, we can be a very strong team in the league.
What are the changes that you've seen between, as you say, a couple of months ago under Ruben Sellers to what Chris Wilder's doing now?
Yeah, probably I would say that they have changed slightly the way they play. They tend to build in a different way by pushing one of the fullbacks. I think that O'Hare, that is an important player for them, has now in the last games occupying a position as well that is important for them, playing the last 3 games with 2 strikers. They changed in the midweek, so they could change to change both the strikers and still get the 3 points. So it's definitely a team that at the moment has picked some good dynamic, and again we need to move on quick from our Southampton result and try to get back to the good dynamic we got before that.
Martin, thank you very much. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. We'll go to Jim Conlon.
Hi, Marty. Good speaking to you again. Marty, if I can start off, the playmaker role in behind the striker. It's always been an important role for Leicester City over the years, especially in the last decade. You had the likes of James Maddison, you had maybe Dewsbury Hall filling that role, Harvey Barnes sometimes coming off the wing. Jordan James occupies that role now at the moment. 13 games in, 3 goals and 1 assist. What traits does he bring to that role that makes him different, but also did you like him in that role?
Yeah, I mean, JJ is a very important player for us, and I think it has been definitely a great signing so far for the club. Actually, I would say that his best position is what I could define more as an 8 than not as a 10, but he has the ability to play in both positions. Obviously, we know that in the beginning of when I arrived here, we had Bilal El Kanous playing in this 10 role, plus Bobby Cordova-Reid, that both of them were naturally number 10s, I would say, despite Bobby has been playing as well on the wing and can play on the wing through his career. But then because of the injuries, we got Aaron Ramsey in when Bilal left. Aaron as well is what I will say a natural 10 in our system. He was doing really well, but unfortunately, the beginning has not been easy for him, with first picking a red card and then this injury that he suffered after a few games where he was playing very well. And the case with Bobby is that actually we have been managing him. So when I arrived, he was injured. He picked an injury with the national team before the summer. Then when I came here, he was recovering from this one. So when we start to get some rhythm, he picked, after another international break, he picked another small injury. But he's an important player for us because of his experience. Now regarding JJ, a very important player for us because of his energy, his capacity to score goals from the second line. His capacity as well to play in the pockets, but as well on the base. He's got these legs, this physicality that allows him to cover a lot of pitch, both when we are in possession and out of possession. And I'm very happy for him, with him as well. And whenever he plays as a 10, he does the job. Whenever he plays as an 8, obviously it's more natural for him, but doing a very important job for the team.
Yeah. And Marty, they say the league position never lies. And 2 stats I'm curious about there. Your goals for is 20. Your goals against is 20, so that means you levelled out on that. But if you look at Coventry City, the current leaders, they're on 47 goals. I'm just looking down at some of your main attacking players there, and 5 out of the 6 forward players, apart from Abdul Fatih, have got maybe 2 goals or less so far this season. And I look at maybe your last opponent, Southampton, Adam Armstrong. He's got 6 goals in 17 games, so he's got more goals than 5 of your attacking players so far this season. We know firepower is important in terms of being in the mix. Would you think that's an area that maybe the returns need to improve?
Yeah, I mean, I never said that the team is playing at the highest level, because definitely we can improve on that. At the same time, I'm aware that most of those players were here last season and they play Premier League football. So I think that all of us, we know that we can improve, that those players need to show as well the hunger and the quality that they got on them. And I'm here to try to help them to achieve this. So there is definitely an area of our game that we want to improve, not only through the stats, but as well the way we perform, because I said many times, I'm not that concerned about who scored the goals, but the fact that we score more goals. And so far, 20 is a number that I'm not very happy with.
And I suppose, Marty, you can beat the infectiousness of youth in the Championship, and that energy it provides for a long, rigorous Championship campaign. And people will look at Leicester from the outside and they'll say, they're an experienced team, but they're an ageing side. If you look at maybe the IU 34, Winks 39, Begovic 38, Pereira 32, Vestergaard 33, Dakota Reed 32, all experienced players, maybe coming to the latter stages of their career now, but an awful lot of them with more Premier League experience than Championship experience.
I think that we got a good balance with a lot of, as you said, experienced players that can bring that in important moments of the games and important parts of the season. I'm happy with all of them. I'm happy as well with the energy that we got from the young players. We got a lot of academy players that this season they are having their debut seasons and or getting their first minutes, so to say. Some others perhaps they got few minutes last season, but they are having more like a more established year for them, like Louis Page, like Jeremy Monga, like Bade Luco. That I think that there are many that are giving us this balance into what I think it's an important season for us in terms of everybody contributing in the best way. And in that case of the experienced players, definitely they will help us as they have been helping the young players through the season.
And final one for me, Marty, just on Sheffield United, they're looking for their 3rd straight win in a row. There's probably, we all know Sheffield United were probably in a false position given the amount of quality that they had in their squad at the start of the season. Chris Wilder has come in and he's proven that so far, that this is a very capable squad. But they have an awful lot of winners in their squad in terms of Championship level. Danny Ings has got promoted at this level. Patrick Bamford has got promoted at this level. Gustavo Hamer has got promoted at this level. Callum O'Hare, an awful lot of goals, an awful lot of experience, but an awful lot of winners in terms of the Championship level as well. They're hitting form at the moment. Is that a concern for you that you're next up to play them?
No, good for them. They are a quality team, and I think that everybody was a bit surprised about the start of the season. But I just focus on this game. I have huge respect for Chris and Sheffield United as a club, and as I said, they're a good team with a lot of quality players. But my only focus is to beat them tomorrow, and from there, I wish them all the best.
Best of luck, Marty.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. We'll go to Owen from Goosey Hoods. Sorry, Jim, if we just get the mic going. Thank you.
Hi, Marty. Just a couple from me. Is there any update on the hearing on the financial charges this week?
No.
And I wonder how important you think momentum is. 2 wins on the bounce and then a loss. How important is it to reclaim some of that momentum?
Yeah, very important. I think that we cannot keep looking back to what happened at Southampton. Obviously, we had 2 days to analyze, to really be tough on ourselves and admit that we were not good enough. We were not at the level that we wanted. But now it's time to move on. We got a new opportunity tomorrow. And I think that's a little bit the kind of mentality that I've been talking about. We cannot just find excuses. We cannot just find, feel sorry for ourselves about what happened last season, about what happened last game, about what happened this first half, about what happened in the last pass. It's just about the next action. It's about the next game. It's about It's about what's happening now, and we got a good opportunity in front of us to try to get back to the momentum that we're trying to build, to try to find this consistency that I've been saying through the games and from game to game that is so important for us, because you can see how tight, how competitive is this league. And then if you want to be up there at the end of the season, you need to maintain this level through different periods of the season. And now we're in an important one.
Hello, Matt Elliott here.
Hi, Alan Smith here.
Hey guys, Ian Hume here.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here.
Be sure to watch
Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV
for all the latest Leicester City news and information.
You can also subscribe on YouTube and various social media channels
for the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Come on, you foxes!
Well, that Irish guy won't be invited back, will he?
Well, it's like is it Daedalus? He said this guy throws out some great questions. Doesn't he just?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I am going to play this now because I'm a little bit worried, if I can find it, that is. MN. I have lost it. Oh my goodness gracious me. Where's it gone? Unreal. I've lost it. I was going to tip that, if anything, that was the most no shit Sherlock press conference I have ever had. I cannot wait to get, and I was hopefully going to get Rob Tanner on to this evening, but it's his wife's birthday. If you're watching Rob and Mrs. T, I hope you have a very nice evening. Happy birthday, Mrs. T. To explain about what journalists do and what they're allowed to do, etc. at the club. Because those questions, my God, a 5-year-old could have come up with better questions. And I say that Irish guy, fair play to him, but there's no way they're going to ask him back again, are they?
Do you know what? I think that they've got they must be thinking, right, okay, so look, we've got to be impartial. We've got to have a range of people. But it's interesting. So on the pre-season, Leicester City, Owen Palmer-Atkins was doing like a joint commentary with the Leicester City guy who does the commentary. I thought, that's quite interesting. Why are they both those sharing the commentary and the stream? So I don't know whether they've just struck up a new kind of relationship where they think, oh, look, we'll keep Owen Palmer-Atkins near us because he doesn't ask any difficult questions.
Well, that is a thing, and that's why I want to get Rob on as soon as I can, because I do get the feeling that, like you say, Owen, do you want to sort of, have a few exclusives? Yeah, well, we'll let you go first. You have some nice, easy questions. Found it, and I'm going to do this now because I have a feeling this might get worn out by the end of the show.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
I knew it was coming, Chris. I knew it was coming.
Well, it had to, and like I say, it will be coming a hell of a lot over the next half an hour or so. Right, let's get past we'll come to the obvious ones soon. But let's talk injuries first of all. Jakob, feeling better. Bless him. Must be those grapes I sent him. But he's not really doing much training. I think I heard that right.
Yeah,
so, Bekovic is in. And I have to say, fair play to him. He's done all right.
He has. I mean, when he says, because he then said with Jakob not training, he says, so is he possible for this Saturday? He says, we'll have to see. And I remember thinking, well, if somebody's not training, surely they're not going to be on the Saturday.
Yeah, just got it here. Number one goalkeeper, Jakub Stolarczyk, will be the subject of a late fitness decision over his availability to face the Blades. If the poll does not make the cut, then he should at least be back to face Derby County the following weekend. Cifuentes said Jakub has been feeling better, although he's not done much training. We're going to have a discussion and we'll make a decision today. If he's not 100%, don't rush him back.
No, and it's his groin as well. It's his groin, for goodness sake.
Thank you very much for pointing where the groin is, because I wouldn't have known without that. You've caught the sun, young man. You've gone very red.
I know.
I
But
need
as
no.
you say, Begovic and Kevin, Begovic has done really well. There's a bit of criticism for his age, and he's really been a solid player for us, hasn't he?
I was not impressed with his signing, as you well remember. And we'll come on to the comment about older players in a bit, which was a fantastic question. But I'm working my way through that humble pie because I don't think if we'd have had Jakub in, possibly we'd have got 3 points at Middlesbrough. That's what were possible. Apart from that, I don't think Jakub would have made the slightest bit of difference.
No, and I do like his feistiness. Begovic.
Yes. He actually has got some balls, which unfortunately a lot of the players haven't. Okoli. It gets worse for this poor lad, doesn't it? It just seems that whenever any player breaks through, that's it. It's like a curse. Like we've said many, many times. How long has Harold Shipman been working at Seagrave? Grave being possibly the right name. Okoli, bad test results. He's going to be out with a few weeks with his knee injury. When I was speaking with Kate earlier, that back four picks itself because that's the only 4 players we've got, and Ricardo can't play midweek.
Yeah, it's like we've all been criticising the high line with Vestergaard and Faz, who kind of goes wanders a bit. But Nelson, like as you said, Nelson finally gets his chance, injured. Okoli starts to get established, injured. What can you do? What can you do with that?
I know, I mean, ridiculous. Interestingly, Suter was mentioned. He's back. I won't say he's back on the grass because that makes him sound like he's on drugs. But he's back. He's back. Although that might help him. Let's be honest. But that's purely for medicinal purposes, of course. Back training with the team. He now needs to get match fit, which is which we always knew. Interestingly, I was speaking to Darryl last night, Sheffield United fan from the Sheffield United way. A really, really, really good, nice guy. And what they said was, had Harry Suter not got that injury, they would probably be playing in the Premier League now.
Wow.
And if he was available in January, depending on his fitness, but if he was at least, like you say, back training and maybe on the subs bench, if the chance came up to buy him, they will be coming in for him to buy him. Now, when we bought him from Stoke, he was probably one of their better players. Struggled in the Premier League, but then who the fuck didn't? And he joined us under Brendan when we got relegated. He's been in and out. To me, when we say we need to strengthen the back 4 or 3, whatever 5, whatever we're going to play, I can keep going. Can I 6, 7, 8? That might help us see. Why are we going out spending money when we've got this guy in defence? I'm glad that Marty seems to be talking positively about him, in as much as he wants to keep him by the sound of it. And why haven't we played him? This guy hasn't been given a chance.
No, he hasn't. I don't think Brendan did him really well, to be honest. And the question is, okay, because when we talked a couple of weeks ago about Suter being injured, thinking, okay, so if Suter was in our side now, would that help the team? And I think it would. I think his character would definitely help in the team.
I'll tell you how he described him, Darryl, yesterday, and that was he's 6'6", whatever he is, and he can jump. Now
Really?
we've got a 6 foot odd player in the back 4 that doesn't know how to jump. Oh, in fairness, he has got the 1 goal for us.
I mean, do you think if Suter was there, that they Southampton would have scored that first goal? And even which was the goal of the previous game, weren't it? Where they kicked the ball to the back guy, he headed it across. I do think Suter, when with headers in, that's definitely our weakness in our team, and I think Suter could improve that.
Yes, look, we know Vestergaard can't jump. I've seen kangaroos that can jump higher than him. So we need somebody like that. He scores goals regularly for Australia. All right, the level of opposition isn't particularly set the world alight when you're Australia. A World Cup qualifier against Papua New Guinea isn't probably the one that's gonna test you most. But look, at the end of the day, it's the formation, it's the playing. You still got to do the same job whether you're playing Rochdale or Manchester United. I say a really hard team in Rochdale or an easier team in Manchester United. Just people know the difference there. I think we should give him a chance. Dawn said there, they love Hamza. Again, they are very hopeful as fans that they will come in January and take Hamza off us. Now, whatever you think about Hamza, apparently he started playing as a defensive midfielder last season, ended up as a right back where they've got a major problem, haven't we all? And apparently they loved him. And he played all the games, even up to the playoff final. I can't see him going in January, not with the defensive problems we have. How could you let him go?
Yeah, and I think Hamza, it was a perfect timing for him to go and just really play week in, week out, which is a big player for Leicester. And it's interesting what Armchair said. We can't have Suter and Vestergaard because we only have one Zimmer frame. I do think Suter would do some of the very basic things better than our like Faz, for instance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, without now, is Nelson back on the grass? Is he back in training?
He never really mentioned Nelson. I'll have a look at him in a second. I just want to say, in fairness to Harry Suter, and Kevin said, it is a shame that we are looking at players that are injured. I mean, Kate made this point earlier. Somebody said, "Oh, I wish we'd still got McAteer," and we're thinking, "Yeah, but Ipswich hate him."
Yeah.
I'm looking. Suter is only 27. He should be in his prime. That Zimmer frame for Suter? No, I've got to say, mate, you're way off there. If he was 37, or seriously 34, but he's not. He's 27. He should be in his prime, and if he's fit, I think he should be in the team. Oh, I didn't know he was born in Aberdeen.
I do think with the injuries, what Kate said about the injuries, that concerns me because, like, a guy who played football, he's an Arsenal supporter, and he said this year, he said early on, he thinks they're going to win the Premier League because they've got strength they've got two high quality players for every single position in that team, so they can play hard Premier games, they can play in Europe against really good sides, and when you look at our side, we're struggling to get a first 11 out with the injuries. And with the Championship, with all the heavy pitches, through the winter, I think we're going to really, unless we bring people in, we're going to be in the shit, basically.
Yeah. He's out at the moment, obviously, with an Achilles tendon rupture. But no, I don't, he's not old. And if they offer good money for Hamza, they'll sell. Again, Armchair. I know we're in that position of, we can't turn down an offer. Who else have we got? Give me defenders. Ben Nelson, when's he going to be back? And if Ben Nelson comes back, isn't quick enough. Have we seen him? Is he any worse than Vestergaard? But he can jump, and Vestergaard doesn't jump. Look, it's typical Leicester fans. Sorry, I'm not going to go at you, Armchair, but it's a typical of Leicester fans. Skip is fucking useless. Skip is awful. How did you decide that? You saw him for 30 minutes. because he didn't get any game time under Rude. So how did you all decide that he was fucking rubbish? Now, yes, he is. I grant you, I'm not arguing that he isn't, but you make that decision when you see them play. I haven't seen enough of Harry Souttar play. I tell you what, I've seen him play more for Australia than I have for sort of club teams. And if you've got a team like Sheffield United, who under Chris Wilder last season should have been maybe you could argue in the Premier League, saying had he still been in the team, then they would have got promoted. Why are we saying that this guy's not good enough for Leicester? Because I'll tell you something, Sheffield United at the moment are a better team than us. They've got motivation. Yes, he hasn't got the players that he wants because they're all Sellers players and they sold all his players, but they're on a better run of form and more confidence and playing better. We can't say we played well with those 2 wins we got. We were lucky. Norwich, the team that hasn't won at home all season, went 1-0 up against us. You know,
lucky, Chris. Lucky.
Yeah.
I don't think we've got. Have we sort of? You never dominate a match for 90 minutes, but have we had a real commanding performance? I don't think we have.
No. And look, you're saying now great pass from Skip because he's getting regular game time. And let's be honest with you, I don't think Skip's a left back, but he did a job for us as good as he could do in that second half. So we are it's a very good point that we are saying to these, we're relying on players that are good. And Kate made this point. When you don't have players, you're thinking, oh, God, I remember when he was with us and I remember when they played. But we can't make that decision on Harry Souttar. We've not seen enough of him. He's not old. He's 27. That's not old. And, we've got to get off this thing that this player's not good enough for Leicester. Fuck off. Who is good enough for Leicester? Because we are shit at the moment. All those fans that came down and said, oh, we're going to walk this division again. Yeah. How long did that last, mate? How long did that last? You all saying, like, oh, this is going to be easy. Last time we were in here, we got the same players, blah, blah, blah. What a load of fucking shit. It really was. Because
it's like HMS Pistol League. It's not HMS Piss of Pants, isn't it?
Exactly. If I knew what that meant, I would I would laugh more. But we've got to realise where we are. We're not the team that won that trophy behind me. We're not the team that won the FA Cup thanks to Ben Chilwell not cutting his toenails. We've got to accept we are where we are. The table doesn't lie, as that guy said in the interview. So let's not be sort of thinking, we're going to get, the best players around. Who wants to come to Leicester at the moment? And you could say, no, if I said to you, right, if a young lad was looking at joining a team, would you join at the moment Coventry, who haven't won anything in years? Would you join Leicester, who 10 years ago won the Premier League, 7 odd years ago we won the FA Cup? Who would you join?
Well, exactly. That's the point I made on Saturday about midweek about Mongar. I think Mongar will, if this carries on, I think Mongar will be off.
Yeah,
because he's not getting any game time. Barcelona used to come to Seagrave, and if he wasn't playing, they just clear off. They weren't interested in anybody else. All the top teams, Man City, Barcelona, and the way things are going and the way we're being managed, and Mongar must be thinking, I've got to play football with this lot.
Yeah. Look, that Dawn says, can't see James wanting to sign for us. I thought that the other day. He's been saying, oh, this is the man, I'd love to stay here. I'm kept on, etc. He must be thinking at the moment, Coventry, please come in for me. And I just think, there's a lot of fans out there, Leicester fans, that are turning into Manchester United fans that are becoming entitled. Blackburn Rovers won the Premier League. Was it the second year of inception, something like that? Where have they been for the last 10 years? Oh, Championship and League One.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you did in the past. If you want to go back far enough, Blackpool were one of the best teams in the country with Stanley Matthews. Bolton were. Preston were. All the Northwest teams were. Wherever, look at them now. Victor Christensen's still out.
Some things you are really gutted about, and some things you're thinking.
Again, this is it. I mean, are you a Thomas or a Christensen?
I am a Thomas, actually. I'm a Thomas in. I just think he's got a great attitude. He gets a lot of slack. He gets a lot of abuse, basically, and I think he's trying his best. And if you're playing in a really shit team who position you unaware and maybe Mongo sometimes didn't protect him, and you've got two crap central defenders for majority of the games, I just think you're going to look rubbish. You can look rubbish in, you get Thomas playing in a better team, and I think it would look better. Get Mongo playing, get a lot of players would look better. We are really poor, apart from the two loanees. All the teams has dipped in performance.
Well, you could argue that they've carried on from last season. Kevin says neither. Well, Kevin, give me, we've got to play one or two. That's all we've got. You're saying neither. Okay, shall we play with 10? Shall we play with 10 men all the time? Then what stupid thing to say? Neither. It's giving me. Oh, I tell you what. We've got a spare, 30 million. Let's go out and buy a really good left back. We haven't got that sort of fucking money. And you say, and Armchair says, let's go Aluko. I mean, that's a good point, Kevin. Play a back three. That's a different point. But Marty won't do that. I wish he would. I really do wish he would. That's a very good point. Aluko, I'm sorry. He needs some time to go off. And I mean, I was going mad at him at the weekend. I'm still going mad at him. I'm sorry. All this. Wayne Rooney started playing for Everton in the Premier League at 16. Why haven't we got some of our fucking youngsters in that team now? Because we're saying, well, Luco's only just coming through. Marty's saying this. It's fucking 18. He's 2 years older than when Wayne Rooney was in the Championship knocking goals in. Oh, can't touch a Luco. No, he's we've got to ease him in. Fucking hell, he's not having sex with the prostitute to lose his virginity. Fuck this easing him in. Throw him in. And when you throw him in, you sink or you swim. Do you remember we threw Thomas in? Because we had to. We'd got no left back. He actually swam for a lot of the time.
Really,
Now, we're criticising him. We'd have been up shit creek those COVID seasons.
I think Tony's point, mate, when he says why the hell haven't we been introducing these lads in the matches against Oxford and things like that? He's just chucking them straight in the deep end in a very difficult match. Because Tom did say before he thinks this will be one of the toughest games we'll face all season, and Tom was bang on, really.
Armchair, good point. That bench should be full of youth players. Yeah, 100%.
Why hasn't Jake Evans got a few minutes here, there, and everywhere? We don't know where he is.
Apparently, he's good enough for England.
Yeah,
but Marty doesn't think he's good enough for Leicester.
And we're not on about them starting, are we? We just bring them on for 10 or 15 minutes, or
And I suppose the argument is, at the end of the day, we've never really been in a position where we're 10 minutes to go. We're 3-0 up and we can afford to do that. But yes, I get the point that in some ways when you bring the youngsters on, it's nice to bring them into a winning team, a consistent team, blah, blah, blah. But also, and why do we have the saying, you sink or swim? You throw a baby who can't swim into the deep end at the pool, he'll float. He will naturally float and try and keep, and so on. Why are these players any different? He's 18 years old. He's played at all these different levels. And as I said at the weekend, the rules are the same. He shouldn't be thinking, I want to impress. He should be thinking, I want to play well for the team. He's 18, he's an adult, he's been having sex for 2 years, he's been drinking and smoking if he wanted to for 2 years. He could have a 2-year-old son by now. He can vote if there's an election tomorrow, he could vote and put a government in power. And yet, we've got to be careful. We don't want to upset. No, ease him in a little bit. Fucking. I always say, if Wayne Rooney was playing for Leicester, he wouldn't have broken into the team now. Oh, he's too young. Wait, no, he was 37. No, he's too young to play in the team. What the fuck is it with Leicester and the youth?
Yeah, it's like SSB says. I think it's interesting. So, Ruud van Nistelrooy, PSV, we thought, great, he's going to bring the kids up. And he literally shit his pants and he didn't have the bravery to do it. Marty said the same thing. Barcelona, high press. We want to create lots of chances. We don't play. I believe in the youth, and he's not playing the youth. And I think the difference is, it's like people who bet with pretend money, and then they go to casino, and then they go bet with real money. Then they don't, they don't get the hundreds out. They get the fives and the tens out. And I think it's the same thing with the managers. I think like they're just not brave. The last two managers have just not been brave enough. No. I'm not saying play them from the beginning and give them 90 minutes. I mean, like Tom says, why the hell are we not introducing some of these players? Because you are saying, it's like Mongo is the other thing about. I really do think Mongo might go this year because what are Leicester City saying to Mongo and his family? We don't trust you in this team.
No, and there's going to be moments when he can't play, when he's got exams. You've got. I mean, he's 16. He's going to have mocks at 17. He's going to have his A levels at 18. All right, he'll probably not go on to uni. In fairness, but at the start of the season, we were saying, and I was saying definitely, I hope we've got a transfer ban. It means we'll have to play the youngsters. I'd love to see some of those youngsters. I'd love to see Alves back here, Braybrook back here, who Newport are loving and want to keep to the end of the season with Christian Fuchs, and also the other guy, the attacker as well. I'd love to see them being given a game, but who do we bring on? Fucking Soumare. Yeah, I did try and sell him actually to Sheffield United because they've got a Soumare. So I said that would be nice, play with each other. But no, they weren't having it. They weren't having it.
So if you were Mongo's dad, and like Frank Lampard made an inquiry about Mongo, and it looks like they're on either in January or even in the summer, would you not say to Jeremy, I think let's go with Coventry? Would you not?
I get it. And in fairness, I have to say, if I was Mongo, I'd probably hold out for a bigger club because I think he'll get it. But what he would get with Coventry is the game time.
Yes.
What he would get with Chelsea, any of the big ones is bench time. Let's be honest with you.
Would he also not be part of a really better footballing playing side? Because he's a footballer. He wants to run with the ball.
Yeah. Why he didn't come on against Southampton? I said this the other day. How to say that you are? What's the word? What's the phrase? That you are? Yeah. How do you say that you are going to play damage limitation without saying you're going to play damage limitation? Let Marty Cifuentes make the fucking substitutes for you. Paul there. If you're good enough, you're old enough. Totally. Look, Monga, for God's sake, right? Look, I hate wokeness. Absolutely. I will not go and see a comedian. I did a year where I just went to see comedians all the time. It was my second year bucket list. And I was going to see Ricky Gervais. I was going to go and see Jim Davidson. Everybody that was not woke, because I can't fucking stand wokeness. And all this, like I say, you've got to tell them it's not all about winning. It's about taking part. Fuck off, is it about taking part? Well, it's sports. It's competition. This teaching youngsters. And I had this thing, and I know I've told you this story when I took over, as I was assistant manager for my kids' team when he was like 11, 12. and I took him to a game, and there was a player, because it was obviously roll on, roll off subs, and there was a player that I just didn't roll on at all because he was very much on the fringe. And the guy came over and went, oh, blah, blah, his dad, you know. And I said, he's 12 years old. I said, he's got to learn. I said, I didn't think, I said, and there's obviously reasons why, because of the game and the score and what have you. I'm like, what, you know, at what point, at 25 years old, don't you, you know, well, I know you got a broken leg and, you know, you're hobbling, but we'll put you on. We'll give you a bit, because we don't want you thinking we're not going to play you. I don't know. Anyway, let me throw my soapbox out the window because it does annoy me. You know, Mongo would have caused Southampton some problems. That's what I think. If he'd come
That's
on.
what Dawn says. She's going tomorrow. Dawn is. Dawn's going tomorrow, so it'll be interesting.
Dawn, I love your bravery, but have you have you been to the doctors recently and had your head checked? Well done, Dawn, for going. Right, here we go. This is the first of the many times that we're going to be doing this.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Apparently, Owen said that Southampton was a disappointing game.
Really? Was he watching the same game that we did?
I don't know. I think he's being, like you say, got his tongue up top's arse there. Have you had honest conversations with the team? No, I didn't say a fucking word to them afterwards. I've just said, you know, we'll go and play on Saturday. You don't need me to tell you. And if you have had honest conversations with the team, have they been beneficial? Have you seen a reaction? If this is what it takes to be a journalist, I miss my vocation in life. I really did. And I loved the reply. Has it been beneficial? And I've got to say, Marty, this was the reply of the press conference. Well done, sir. He turned around and when asked, had he had honest conversations and had they been beneficial and had he seen the reaction, and he went, we'll see tomorrow. I mean, Marty, what an answer, mate. What an answer. Dawn says, yeah.
Paul Rattleton also asks, if you can win a string of games, it would put you in a healthier position.
Yes, hang on.
I did thought, yeah.
It's going to have to be. We can't not do it.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
My name says no shit, Sherlock, Chris.
Yes. Yeah, I've written down here, it's good to win games. I don't know what to say. I mean, I just don't know. Here we go then. Is it very important to return from an international break and carry on the momentum?
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Marty must be thinking, please, God, please, no.
Somebody said earlier he had a long face. Well, if you've got those questions coming at you, wouldn't you be? I mean, it's like Stephen Hawking's going on 3, 2, 1. Do you know what I mean?
No, it is. It's like literally saying, "Hello, Fred. Fred, are you? You know, it's just, yeah."
Yes. Oh my goodness me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like you said, he said, "Is it good to win games?"
Yeah. No shit. Yeah. No shit, Sherlock.
Yes. No, Owen. It's horrible. I hate winning games because I just can't stand. You know, it's not good. No, just not win. And then, in fairness, Marty said, or I can't remember whether he was asked or he said, the difference between where we are and the top of the league, and Marty was saying, like, you know, he doesn't want that to increase, you know, but And Sheffield United, they're in a better position now. Marty, you're getting very close to a no shit Sherlock as well.
I know.
And then, but let's have a break from the shit for a while because, you know, we then had the Irishman come along. Where he's come from, I don't know. This
Jim Carr or something. I wonder whether it was our Jim putting on an Irish accent.
possibly. I think at the moment that John Rudkin is probably digging a hole underneath Seagrave somewhere to dump his body. Because he's not having him back, are they? He was asking too many. Check under the patio. So whatever newspaper he's from, if he doesn't return, check under the patio at Seagrave. Brilliant questions. The role of the number 10.
Yeah.
What does JJ bring to this? What an absolutely fantastic question. I wish he'd gone on and maybe said, like, are you losing more from where he was? Because I honestly think what you gain with JJ as a number 10, you're losing more because he's not a number 6.
Yeah.
Now, I get confused.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
No, I get confused. Can you tell me what the number 8 is? This is getting very confusing for me. I've just worked out the number 10 and the number 6, but what the fuck's the number 8? Where's that?
The number 8 is pretty. It just sits in front. If you got a 6 at 6, it's supposed to sit in front of the back 4, being touched to the back 4. Then you have the number 8, and then you have the number 10. But you got all varies. It's interesting. That's when Marty took a significant drink of water when the Jim started saying, so the playmaker role behind the striker. Then Marty takes a drink of water, and Marty says, yeah, JJ, his best position is as an 8.
So why are you fucking playing him there, Marty? I'm sorry. Bobby Dakova-Reid, he goes on to say, he did say that he can play in a number 10, James Justin, but Bobby Dakova-Reid is a natural 10. Well, fucking play him in that position. If he's a fucking natural 10 and he's fit, play him. Not rocket science. Oh, God, yes. You know, Marty. You know, I mean, oh, God. I mean,
what would you do though, Chris, if you weren't playing?
Nottingham Forest. That's what I would do.
Yeah, if managers didn't play somebody who wasn't a left back in the left back position, if managers didn't play a natural number 8 in a number 10, and then misalign all the team, you'd have nothing to talk about.
No, this is very true. But this is why, and I'm sorry to keep harping back to this, but this is why I wanted Sean Dyche in as manager. Because he would have put square pegs in square holes. Look, I know Skip played at left back. He was asked to play that role. I mean, he may play Skip in that role tomorrow. Who knows? He may have had a bit of a epiphany. Martin gone, oh, Skip can play that role. Oh, make a note of that. Skip at left back against Sheffield United. No, but you know what I'm saying. You got Hamza on the bench. Didn't bring him on till later. What he can do left back. I would have said.
Yeah, you said. Yeah.
Better than Skip. And look, I'm not having to go at Skip. He did what he was asked to do, and that's all you can ask of a player. Bobby Dakova-Reid is an important player for us. Okay.
Still managing injuries, he said, didn't he? Still managing injuries, basically.
Yes. But I want to fucking get Dave Rennie back, for God's sake. JJ is happy and can play. I can't read my own writings here. Can play in pockets. I just don't have a thing for this. You know, I mean,
Because
this.
the journalist did say, he said, look, he scored 3 goals and got 1 assist. And I think that is the justification for him playing JJ in the 10 when as we've said, you could play Monga there, you could over Reed. You've got different options there. You could even play, some people say, I don't agree with it because I don't think he's got the confidence, but he can play Mavididi in the 10. But Monga's a natural 10. And then he could play JJ with Winks, with Be More Solid. Winks needs someone like JJ around him because otherwise, if he hadn't got JJ, I think Winks looks crap. And his body language when he came off against Southampton Winks, he looked finished.
Yes, yeah. Dawn says there, play Reed in 10, no shit, Sherlock. Exactly. He then went on, I mean, this. I want to find out who that journalist is because I want to send him a present.
Yeah.
He went 5 out of you. Well, can I say first of all? So just going back to that point about JJ, what position was he in when he scored those goals?
Arriving late in the box.
Number 6. How many goals has he scored from the number 8 position? Number 10 position.
I think he might have scored his last one. I think that might have been.
Possibly, but he scored more from number 6.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the reason why he arrives late in the box, and he said he arrives late in the box because, like Marty did say in that interview, he's got such a great engine. He can cover every blade of glass. So if he can cover every blade of glass, play him as a number 8. Anyway,
you and me know this, but Wayne, but 5 of our 6 attacking players, and he's including obviously Mavididi and Fatwa in that. Apart from 5 of the 6 have only got a maximum of 2 goals each. Armstrong for Southampton has got 6 on his own. He scored more goals on his own than 5 of our 6 attacking players have together. And he's come out and he said, and we've scored 20 and we've conceded 20. And he came out and he goes, yeah, I'm not happy with 20 goals. Hang on. Marty's going to have it. I'm sorry. I've tried to be fair to Marty, but he is going to have it.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
You're not happy with 20 goals. Oh, do fucking something about it. Play 2 up front. Give Jake Evans a chance. Give get Monga on. He's not played for 5 games. Why? I mean, calm down. It's not good for my heart. I've had a heart attack years ago.
And Marty said that Sheffield United have been playing with 2 strikers.
Yes. 4-4-2. What is well? Let's go back to 4-4-2. You know what I mean? Oh, just do anything with 2. I mean, Chris Wilder, funny enough, the guy was saying he tends to play 4-2-3-1 more than anything else, but he does at least swap it occasionally. When will these managers decide that playing 2 up front actually works?
Yeah. One thing Wilder does expect off his team, he expects 100% commitment. And last season, they were way ahead. They were in 3rd place. They looked like they were nailed on for automatic promotion. Yes, they fell by the wayside a bit, but like with Suter's injuries, probably. But basically, I think if Suter hadn't been injured, they would have gone up automatically. And they were way ahead of the 4th place team. Yes. They were really such a high quality side. So, I mean, they're going up the table, aren't they? They are going up the table.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't think they'll go higher than midway because, of the players they've got aren't the players that Wilder wants. But, I mean, just try something different, as you say. I mean, like you say, the JJ arrives in the box late, but that's how he plays, and he gets any drop offs out the box and things. We all know Somali arrives late in the box because he stops and has a picnic every time he runs up towards the opposition goal. The team, I love this guy. Leicester City have got a lot of experience, but you're an aging team.
Boom! Right, bloody nose there, isn't it? Bloody nose.
It is. To which the reply was, "We have a good balance."
Somebody in the chat says, "Have we?" He says, "We've got a good balance." Was some good players? Somebody in the chat put, "We haven't got good players."
We haven't got good balance either.
He's talking about an average, isn't he? So if you take the average of those players, we've got a good average age. No, because some of them are too young and we can only play them for 10 or 15 minutes, and some of them are way too old or have a poor attitude. So I'm sorry that our squad is a mess, basically. And Ramsey getting injured, this is how much of a mess. The two best players are lone players, and one of those gets injured, and then he starts playing people out of position because he got no backup at all.
110%. He then went on to say, and I think at this point, if I turn into the Incredible Hulk, don't be surprised. And if I suddenly sort of drop off like that, please call 999 because I'll have given myself a heart attack. He went on to say, Marty, he's happy with all of these players and the academy players too.
You serious?
Yeah, exactly. He says the form. A lot of these players used to play in the Premier League, so they've obviously got quality. Something like that, didn't he? Thinking a bit delusional, Marty. A bit delusional.
Look, I don't want him to come out and say, "Well, yeah, do you know what? Samari's a bag of shit, and Skip was, but he's actually starting to play a bit better now." And we don't want him to do a Brendan, but there's ways of saying, like, I'm happy with some of them, but some of them will still need to show me more. Or, there's words of saying it without throwing players under the bus. I never want a manager to come out and go, he was shit, or he was, you know what I mean? Wenger used to do that. He never ever called a player out. It was always a case of, well, I never saw it. And I was looking the other way. But and then he did what he had to do in the dressing room, if you pardon the expression. But yeah, I think like you can't be happy. If you're happy with that, fucking hell, mate.
Yeah.
Sheffield United have got a lot of experience at this level. I thought we had as well. They've got a lot of goals and winners. They've got winners, apparently.
Yes. And when he listed them, you're thinking, have we got any winners, Chris?
I don't think we have. I mean, this sprung to mind when I heard that.
You don't know the answer to that question, and I think you are an ostrich.
I think Marty is becoming a fucking ostrich. He stuck his head in that ground and he has no idea what's happening in the real life. They're in form at the moment. Good for them, he said. One again, I'm going to say a good answer from Marty. It was then passed to somebody else. And this is going to be in a minute, we'll have our final no shitter.
Wow.
But any news on the financial charges? And I love it. He just went, nope.
Yeah, exactly. Move on.
Yeah, the journalist had nowhere to go with that. And then, here we go. Are you ready for it? How important is momentum?
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Oh, dear.
I'm sorry. I mean, that was just a question that had been asked earlier, put in a different way.
I mean, are these people paid professionals, or are they just doing it as a job? What do you call it? Job experience, something? You know,
Your work experience. Yeah,
work experience. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, look, can it get any worse this weekend?
It can.
I honestly think it can.
Do you know, after such a heavy defeat, if Sheffield United come, it could be very worrying, Chris. Very worrying.
It could, and also, you know, they said about, you remember the where are you? Where's the 12th man? Let's be having you. I wonder if she's moved yet. Anyway, living on Let's Be Having You. Yeah.
I don't know. Before my time, Chris.
No, but do you not remember? Do you remember the Delia Smith at Norwich?
Oh yeah, Delia Smith. Yeah.
Yeah, Let's Be Having You. Where are you, Norwich fans? Yeah. And I think it was very brave of her to give out her address, in front of all those fans. I never knew she lived on Let's Be Having You.
Hey!
I had to explain that, didn't I, guys? I had to explain it. But you've got to give the fans something to cheer about. You've got to give the fans something to get behind. And I'm fed up with saying this, but Nigel Pearson's year of the Great Escape, the crowd never failed to get behind the team because they saw effort. They saw, I never won any game, and in fact, I say any game in any division under Nigel Pearson. Did I ever say that he went for damage limitation?
No, wish you pissed. Wish you. Hey.
She'd had a bit of the falling down water. Let's just say that. Yeah. She wasn't queuing up. In the concourse, she was having a bit of the old hospitality.
Yeah, but we've not got that fighting spirit. I think Ramsey's got it, definitely, and he's got the right attitude. I think JJ's got it.
And that's sad, the fact that the first two you've named aren't even our players.
Yeah, Fatawu, he's such a physically strong player, and he's getting knocked off the ball. It's like his head's gone. And when you look at all the championship, most of the teams we've played, even your Oxfords, they got fighting spirits about them. I don't think we've got fighting. I think Winks is just not a fighting spirit guy. It's okay playing that pretty, recycling the ball football, but I don't think it's appropriate in the Championship, especially not for his money. And I really hope we have a clear out and start again next season. Yeah.
Right. Let's move on because I want to talk Chris Wilder. As you know, I did put him in the same bracket as Sean Dyche. The Sheffield United fan bit me head off because I said, they're both kind of dinosaur managers. I went, oh, Chris Wilder's not, blah, 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 and all this sort of thing. And I remember saying, if either of those two managers had got the job, I wouldn't have been disappointed. Everybody was going, oh, Danny Roll this, Danny Roll that, Danny Roll the other. I don't even know how he's doing at Glasgow at the moment, but it looked like it was going to be him. I just think it was too complicated a deal with everything that we'd got going on. The financial, net that he was embroiled in at Sheffield Wednesday. But he said he was interviewed for the job. Now, like I say, it would have literally torn the club apart. I said earlier that, had Sean Dyche been appointed, and we're all now saying what a good job he's doing at Forest, John Rudkin would have been, nailed to a cross and set on fire in front of the KP. But what were your thoughts on Wilder at the time?
I thought it's like when Cooper came along. I didn't want Cooper, but I thought he will do a job, and I think he will do a decent job of probably keeping us up in the Premier League. Maybe just by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, but I thought he could probably do the job.
Do you ever keep a fish alive?
Sorry?
Do you ever keep a fish alive?
Why?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one cycle.
Hey, very good. And Wilder's the same. Wilder's exactly the same. He's always built good, strong, organised teams.
Yeah.
But they, good defensively score goals. It's interesting that all the younger fans wanted your roles. Your Rossinius now. Strasbourg is doing well at Strasbourg. But but it's interesting. The Moyes situation is completely. It's crazy. So he's gone to Everton. He's not only steadied them, but he's turned them into a really good footballing side. He's got Grealish, KDH. He's getting man of the match week after week. And they're really, the way they played against Man United, they've got heart and resilience. I love
Down
it.
to 10 as well.
Yeah, sorry?
Down to 10 as well.
Down to 10 for most of the match. KDH, wow. But there's Moyes. So the argument for Moyes was, like with your Wilders and your Dyches, they play boring football, so the modern younger fans don't want that. But Moyes has obviously showed that if you can have better quality players and build it, you can actually build. These managers will play attacking football, but still with character and resilience. And like Dan said that Dyche did bring on a lot of young people, but a lot of the teams he had were quite basic.
But he played to his team's strengths. That was it. He couldn't buy £30 million players at the time.
And what team have we got? We've got a team that needs strength and resilience building in us.
You have to have a look at your situation. That if we'd got Chris Wilder in, we need a team now that, like you say, will fight. We don't need a team that's going to go out there and play fancy tippy-tappy football. Because we've got to accept, with this probable points deduction that's coming, we're going to be in a relegation battle. So we want a team that will fight. This team couldn't fight its way out of a paper bag. That's what I think Chris Wilder would have brought to the club. I think he could have, not this season, but possibly next season. I think he'd have improved this team to the point of, because I don't think he wouldn't suffer fools gladly. And I don't think he would have cowtailed to the likes of Sumari and Faze and what have you. He might not with ifs, buts and maybes, obviously. And he may have got us up. And I think if he had got us up, he may have kept us up. It might have been fourth from bottom, but I think he would have kept us up. Then after that is when you look at, right, let's now look at possibly moving forward. He's not that. My worry would have been if we'd given him the job, Sellers had got the Sheffield United job. Sellers is sacked. Sheffield United job is available. Would his head have been turned to go back there? Because we know how. I mean, he's like a stick of rock. If you cut him in half, it will also say Sheffield United inside his body.
Yeah, it would. But I mean, would you go back to a business that kind of treated you the way they treated Chris Wilder?
Well, he has done. He's gone back.
But that's it. So he's done that. So I do think if he was Leicester manager, I think he would see Leicester as the chance to get us back in the Premier League. I think he would do that. Yeah.
Well, it said he was disappointed not to get the job in the summer, and even spoke to 3 players in the hope of taking the reins at the King Power Stadium. I'll read what it says here. Wilder was interviewed by City when they sought a replacement for Ruud van Nistelrooy. The club eventually turned into Marty Cifuentes. Again, I don't think that was a money decision, because Chris Wilder, if anything, would have cost less because there's no payout for him. I mean, Cifuentes had the payout. Out of work in the summer after leaving the Blades, Wilder has since returned to Bramall Lane to help them recover from a dreadful start to the campaign, and he will be in the away dugout at the King Power Stadium on Saturday. He could have been in the home dugout if his plans had come off, with Wilder revealing that he spoke to Hamza Chowdhury, Luke Thomas and Harry Souttar, all of whom he'd had on loans, All four, yeah, I should read ahead. All former Blades loanees, yeah, to get the lowdown on the club before his interview. It's mad, Wilder said at his press conference on Friday. I spoke to Leicester City in the summer and was impressed with what they had to say. At the time I was out of work, so disappointed not to get that gig, but you move on. I enjoyed the process and the interview process. I was disappointed not to get the job because I'd like to think it would be one that would have worked well for myself and the coaches would have brought in. I know a lot about the club over the number of years. I know about the players, worked with Thomas, Sutar, and Hamza. I had a very positive view on the club. What Enzo did as well, we share the same agent. There you go, agents. It's a big club and I wanted to get back into work. Now, do you think, and this is a, I'm going to throw this one at you, you're going to hate this question. Do you think we would have been better off at this stage had we got Wilder in?
No question. No question. Here's another interesting question. Do you think he would have incorporated the youth more into the side and have the intelligence to do that? And would he have the balls? I think he would have more balls than RVN and Marty to incorporate the youth. I think he'd be getting far more out of people. He wouldn't allow Fatawu to be. Fatawu would not be knocked off the ball early in the season. He would not allow it. He just wouldn't allow that attitude. My
answer to that question, and I'm going to give you the answer in the style of Marty Cifuentes. Yes. Now, and I think as well, the other thing to consider is that he would have been in earlier. So he'd have had more pre-season time. Because, again, there was nothing to sort out, no waiting till the last minute, no bringing him in with one game already played. Richard says there 100%, I just think it's a shame. Interestingly, he goes on to say, sorry, I always believe Leicester City's academy is tops. So, yes, I think in that, you would be looking at the youth players. Interestingly, when I was speaking to, say, Darryl, the Sheffield United fan last night, and I said, when we lost to Watford, don't scratch your eyes, you really are seeing this game, we kept hold of Nigel Pearson. And the next season, we went on to smash it. We won. We broke records, not like Rude for bad things, but for good things. Most away games, all that sort of stuff. And I think had they kept hold of Chris Wilder, because he'd still had his players then, but they would be up there. I said I'd got them up. I think I've put them in second to go up behind Ipswich on the strength of that. I said, why did it happen? And he said, American owners. We had some American owners come in who wanted to try something different. And at the end of the day, he said, I didn't want to see Wilder go, but I thought, well, go on, let's see where this is going to take us. At the end of the day, it's their money. They can do what they want with it. And this is the interesting thing. When it went wrong, the owners of Sheffield United came out and spoke to the fans, not obviously directly, but, and said, we got this wrong.
Right.
We made a mistake. Now, that wasn't 18 months later, a nice place in America somewhere with, lots of open spaces and, escalators and what have you. This was almost immediately, we got it wrong. We're sorry. Trust us, we'll put it right. If only, eh?
If only that sacking that was one of the craziest decisions I think has happened in the last few years in English football. What they were brilliant that season. They're just really unlucky to lose in the playoff final. Sunderland. They should have beat Sunderland. No, they got knocked out, didn't they?
They lost to Sunderland in the final. Yes.
Oh, yeah. I just think they were way ahead of everybody else and they blew it.
Yes.
But they were so far ahead of the fourth place team. So you'd go again, wouldn't you? You'd just go again the next season.
Yeah. But having made that decision to come out as quick as they have done and went, sorry, guys, we got it wrong. Wow. Props to them. I mean, yeah, all right, we've now had that, but it's been 18 months, 2 years, 2.5 years later. They've done it, straight away. And yes, didn't they say, I did ask him about putting Sheffield Wednesday and Sheffield United together and having a one team, which is something that the owners at Sheffield United, although it's never been proven, but they are one of the sources that actually suggested that could happen. Typical American owners, I guess, His attitude was, and I'm paraphrasing here, but I'd put needles in my eyes before that happened. If that happened, I'd go off and start watching non-league. And I said, but do you not? I mean, I said, I don't like Coventry. But if they during the years they were battling and they had no home ground and what have you, I'm very, very happy for them to get relegated, but I don't want them to go out of business. What how are you feeling about what Sheffield Wednesday are going through? He goes, I love it. So you know that derby feel between Everton and Liverpool, it isn't there with Sheffield. They absolutely hate each other. And I said, look, but surely that would give you the best of, you get a brand new stadium and you and all this, that, and the other. And I went, no.
You're selling your heart and soul, aren't you? That's what you're doing.
Yes, yeah. And I said, but would you not stay with it because it's still Sheffield? He went, no, I wouldn't. I would go away. And then, of course, we got talking about Sheffield FC, the oldest football club in the world. I said, well, it could be a three-way merger. Yes, it didn't go down too well. Wayne, thank you very much, young man. What's your prediction for tomorrow, by the way?
Head.
Give me both.
I'd say 2-0 to Sheffield United. I can't see a goal.
No. I did the prediction show last night. Now, normally when I do the predictions, I because when we do the prediction show, I do all the facts and figures for each game, and I study them, and I don't usually put my predictions in until I've done those, because I can see which way the wind's blowing. Having said that, every week I've done that, I'm still fucking virtually near the bottom of the prediction league. So this week, what I did was I put the top six in the Super Six in the European, and I just went for it. I went, yeah. I thought they're higher in the table, so they'll win. And I just went for it that way. Completely forgot, and I'm predicting away in the prediction show and forgetting that I'd already done the prediction. So I went in the prediction show for a 2-1 Sheffield United win. That was my head. But when I look back on what I'd done in the and I corrected myself on the show, when I looked at what I'd done earlier, I've actually gone for a 1-1.
Right. When I saw you put your scores in, I thought, hey, up.
I know. Bit quick for me. I know. Well, sometimes I do forget to do it, and I get a telling off from Uncle Brad. He usually tells me, thanks very much, thanks, Dawn. I forgot they were playing tonight. Yeah, Uncle Brad tells me off.
It's doing well, Chris, now.
Yes, yeah. Stuck with the manager.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he always tells me off, and I said, well, look, I can't cheat because just go and watch the prediction show and you'll see what I've committed to. But I just thought, fuck it, I'm putting them in and getting it out of the way. And of course, I'm away for 3 games, so I've got to predict those 3 games in advance. I know, well, last time I did that when I went to Australia, I scored more points than what I've been doing this properly.
Well, there you go, yeah.
I don't understand football. I'm giving up on it. But Wayne, thank you very, very much. Thanks to everybody that's been in the chat and joining in. Nice to see the new ones. Nice to see the he would indeed, Dworski. I agree with that. The regulars, it's nice to see them in, and the new ones popping in as well. Do what it says at the bottom there. Subscribe, click that notification bell, like the video, please. It's free and it does help the channel so much. And share it. If you know a Leicester City fan that isn't subscribed to us, share these videos with them. And, of course, if you're listening via your favourite podcast platform, whatever that may be, thank you for lending us your ears. I'm up at 6 in the morning, so I'm going to go. And when I finish that job, I've then got to get ready for an 11:30 start for the watch-along. I will see you at the end. You may have a falcon on your shoulder or a parrot. Hey, Jim lad.
Deadwood, yeah.
Well, yes. This is a dead parrot. It ceased to be. I'll see you all tomorrow at 11:30. Thanks very much, Wayne. See you for the post-match. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Have a good night.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You'd better like them too, or I'll be back.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.